let's get into desoldering. As you know, we can desolder the old way. And then there's the other point. There's the other point right there. So, come back here, we see the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each one of those that you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a different relay. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna be unsoldering those. And you can use what I would say is some good old fashioned flux. I'm gonna show you how to do that. We're gonna start with that one. So you just apply it. So you just apply it to each one quite thoroughly, just like that. You want to get a tip that has a little bit that's not thin exactly. It has it's not small. It's not a fine tip, but it's not super wide either. It's about as wide as your soldering, and you want to make sure your tip's clean. I'm gonna set it to 440. Give you an idea of what I'm using here. There you are. Get a little warm. Typically, what I will do to prime up, well, that just landed on the floor. To prime it up, is I'll put a little bit on the tip, and then I'll clean my tip. And you'll notice how nice and shiny it looks now. If you can see it or not, I'm not sure. You probably can't. That's okay. Get your braided copper, and the original technique people have used over the years, using braided copper. That's right. I give no flux. It's real simple. It's just a pull technique. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, what really helps is to get a little bit of this solder and just this low melt, because we don't know what the melting point of each one of these are, and just add a little extra to it. And just kind of blend that in with what they already have. And what that allows you to do is now know your melting point of your solder. Just lay that on there. You want to put it on there, and as you can see, it's already soaked up what was on my tip, and that's great. You want that to occur. And what you want to do is you want to touch the soldering iron, and it will pull right off. And you're using the flux. You just pull it like that. You see how that guy came nice and clean, just like that. Let's see where I'm at. Yeah, that one right there. That's where I was at. We'll do another one. And having a little bit of solder on your wick already really helps out. And see, I'm touching it, and we're going to see that kind of get melty. And when that gets melty, you start to pull, and it'll pull the whole thing right off of there. Just like that. And that's how you do it. And that's 2 of them clear and clean. I'm going to show you how I do it now. This is how I learned when I came back to this after all these years. This is the best way to learn, all right? Is doing just an old school way of just the pull technique. It's a little harder on the board because the board gets a little hotter, as you can see, but you can still clean holes really nicely doing this technique. And my thought is, unless you know how to do it old school, okay, and then you really don't need to like learn the newer ways without knowing the foundation. This is the foundation. If you got a little one that kind of sticks on a little bit, there you go. And boom, it's off of there. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit different way than using the braided technique. And because now, see, that whole board's sticky, right? The whole board's sticky. And you got to clean that board up now. And you have to do that with alcohol. Alcohol is the easiest thing to do that with. I'm trying to see where my Q-tips are. I had a couple laying out here because I know I'd be using a little bit. Get a little bit of 99% alcohol, and we'll clean that up real quick. Get that off the board so I don't have to contend with it. And we did pretty good. And we're going to see how the difference between the old technique and the new technique works. See all that garbage on that thing. That looks nice. See all the flux? Nasty. Nasty old stuff. Okay, that board's nice and clean. Doesn't really feel sticky. I got a spot or two on there still, probably a little bit. But the new technique we're going to use is using one of these guys. This has improved my game. When I really started having boards to do, like people were sitting boards in, and I'm having to get boards out, and I got local people wanting me to do boards. This is how you should do it, is with one of these guys. I'll let you see the one I have. Very nice gun. Alright, we should be good to go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stick that on there like that. Okay, maybe I need to hold it down like that. Can you guys see? That's one. Here's the last one. And every once in a while you get them where they didn't want to pull all the way through, so add you a little bit more. Oh yeah, nice and clean. I'm going to show you the difference between them. A little extra in that one, didn't we? Well, well, well. We'll do one more, so maybe I can have a better one for the video. But what it comes down to, there we go. Even on the harder ones, it does a little better. If you notice, I didn't have to use any flux. And you see how on these holes, where the other one, where I used the other technique, the pull technique right here, if you notice, you see how you get additional damage on the board from pulling it? The holes don't look as clean compared to these holes that look a lot just cleaner, and you don't see any of those little marks like that around them. And typically, sometimes you get real lucky, you don't have to do anything. That one's clean. What I noticed, the first couple I do, they're harder because this thing has to warm up and get primed up. And there's older solder in it, so. See, that one I only had one. Only had one that didn't pull loose that time. Yep, that one did pretty good. Went back and was able to suck that one out just like that. And so it has made it a lot easier with this new tool.